Have you ever looked in the mirror and felt like something wasn't quite right, but you couldn't explain why? Maybe your haircut is fresh. Maybe your makeup is subtle but polished. But still, something in your reflection feels off, like it no longer reflects the way you feel inside. Here's a thought. What if it's your hair color? For many women over 60, hair color is more than just a shade. It's a history. It's the tone we've worn through milestones, through motherhood, through careers and changes. But just like we evolve, so should our color. The truth is, the same shade that once made you feel vibrant can now drain your glow if it no longer complements your skin tone or energy. It's not your fault. No one tells us how much our hair and complexion change over time, or how to adjust with grace. In today's video, we're going to talk about 3 hair colors that may be quietly aging you without you realizing it, and 3 shades that can bring back softness, warmth, and confidence to your look. These aren't just style tips. They're tools to help you feel like you again. Not a younger version, not a different version, just your best, most radiant self. So grab a cup of tea, settle in, and let's talk honestly about what works, what doesn't, and how just one shift in color might bring out a whole new light in you. One that was there all along, just waiting to shine through. 1. The uplifting shades that celebrate you. Let's start with the good news. The colors that lift you up, that reflect who you are now, and that bring a natural glow back to your skin, your smile, and your spirit. Choosing the right hair color after 60 isn't about chasing youth. It's about choosing something that complements the warmth and wisdom you've earned. These shades don't try too hard. They don't scream for attention. They simply work with you, not against you. And the first one is a quiet showstopper. Chocolate brown with copper glow. This shade is all about balance. It's soft but rich, natural but polished. Chocolate brown with subtle copper undertones doesn't just color your hair, it brings warmth back to your complexion, especially if your skin has started to lose that youthful rosiness. This color reflects light in all the right places. It softens shadows around your face, adds a gentle filter to your features, and gives you that "I feel like myself again" moment when you catch your reflection in the window. If your eyes are hazel, green, or brown, this shade will make them pop beautifully. And if your hair is starting to thin, the copper glow adds dimension that makes it appear fuller and more vibrant. Even better, this shade is for giving between salon visits. As it fades, it blends gracefully instead of turning brassy. It grows out softly. That means fewer trips to the salon, less stress, and more time feeling good. Cool ash brown with smoky highlights. Now, if your skin leans cooler, or if you're just looking for something a bit more modern, cool ash brown with smoky highlights might be your match. Ash brown has a slight gray undertone. It's refined, calm, and timeless. Paired with soft, smoky highlights, it becomes something truly elegant, but with a quiet edge. It's perfect for women who are starting to go gray, but aren't quite ready to fully commit to silver. This combo blends beautifully with regrowth, gives your hair movement and depth, and never looks overdone. It says, "I'm graceful, but I still have a spark." And that's exactly what makes it so magnetic. Salt and pepper grace. Finally, there's salt and pepper. Natural, honest, undeniably stylish. This is more than just going gray. It's going gray with intention. It's not about letting go of beauty. It's about redefining it. When done right, with the right cut, the right tone, and the right care, salt and pepper becomes a true statement. A statement of confidence, of elegance, and of self-acceptance. It works in harmony with your skin, your eyes, your features. It softens lines instead of spotlighting them. And perhaps most importantly, it frees you from the constant upkeep of trying to cover something that deserves to be celebrated. Because salt and pepper hair isn't just a look, it's a lifestyle. It says, "This is who I am, and I love where I am in life." 2. the colors that quietly age you. Now that we've explored the hair colors that can enhance your natural beauty, let's take an honest and compassionate look at the shades that may be working against you. These are colors that many women over 60 still reach for out of habit, nostalgia, or simply because no one ever told them otherwise. But the truth is, some of these shades, while bold or once flattering, may now quietly be adding years to your appearance without you even realizing it. It's not about judgment, it's about awareness. When we know better, we do better. And these 3 shades deserve a second look, not because they're bad, but because they might not be doing you justice anymore. Let's start with jet black. Jet black is a color many women choose thinking it's timeless. And in some ways, it is. It's rich, it's bold, and it offers complete coverage of grays. But here's the thing, it's also very high contrast. And that can be a problem after a certain age. As we age, our skin tone naturally changes. It tends to lose warmth, brightness, and elasticity. The vibrancy that once balanced deep hair color begins to soften. Jet black, with its intensity, can clash with these changes. It deepens the appearance of fine lines, enhances shadows around the eyes and mouth, and makes the overall face appear more severe. Have you ever looked in the mirror after coloring your hair black and thought, "I don't feel like me anymore"? That's your intuition speaking. Black might have once felt strong and empowering, but if it's now making your face feel harder or your skin look tired, it might be time to reconsider. And it's not just about skin. Jet black hair tends to absorb light rather than reflect it. That means it can make thinning hair look even flatter and duller. For many women in their 60s, volume becomes a challenge. So choosing a color that reflects light and creates the illusion of fullness can make all the difference. So what can you try instead? Soft black, deep espresso, or a dark chocolate brown with warm undertones can offer the same richness and coverage, but with a far more flattering effect. These shades add warmth back to the face and soften features instead of hardening them. And if you're open to dimension, adding subtle caramel or bronze highlights can bring life and depth without sacrificing sophistication. Remember, letting go of black isn't about giving in to age. It's about choosing a shade that works with you, not against you. Next, let's talk about platinum blonde. The idea that blondes have more fun has been around for decades, and for some, a bright blonde has always felt playful and youthful. But as skin matures, bright platinum or very light ash blonde can be unexpectedly harsh. Why? Because light, cool blondes often wash out the complexion. Mature skin loses some of its natural glow and undertones, and these pale, icy colors can leave you looking washed out, pale, or even unwell. Instead of enhancing your natural features, platinum blonde may drain your face of color and draw attention to uneven skin tone, age spots, or fine lines. And there's another factor: maintenance. Platinum blonde is not a low-maintenance color. It often requires bleaching or heavy lifting, which can damage hair that's already becoming more fragile with age. The result is often dryness, brittleness, or a dull texture that's hard to manage. Many women tell me they feel like they're chasing the blonde, constantly touching up roots, fighting brassiness, and trying to keep the color from fading. At a certain point, it becomes more exhausting than empowering. So what should you try instead? Consider softening your blonde. Honey blonde, warm beige blonde, or even a soft golden brown can still give you that light, sunny feel, but with warmth that flatters mature skin tones. These shades bring light to the face instead of draining it. And when blended as lowlights or highlights, they can add dimension that makes your hair look fuller and more vibrant. If you're attached to blonde, and I completely understand if you are, you don't have to give it up. You just have to let it evolve with you. And now, deep burgundy or purple red. These colors are bold, creative, expressive, And for many women, they once represented rebellion, individuality, and fearlessness. But as we age, these shades tend to fight against our natural coloring instead of working with it. Burgundy, wine, plum, these colors reflect strong red or purple undertones. And when combined with skin that is thinner, more translucent, or uneven in tone, the result can be jarring. Instead of lifting the face, these colors can exaggerate redness, draw attention to unevenness, or make the skin appear flushed or ruddy, especially without makeup. And these colors fade quickly. What begins as a rich, vibrant hue often fades to a dull, muddy tone that lacks shine and life. The maintenance is high. The payoff, unfortunately, is often low. One woman I worked with, her name was Barbara, told me she felt like the color was wearing her, not the other way around. And when she finally switched to a warm chestnut with just a hint of copper, her whole face lit up. So what's the alternative? Try a medium brown with soft auburn undertones, or a warm brunette base with just a few reddish highlights. These colors still have personality, but they're far easier to maintain and much more flattering on mature skin. The effect is warm, natural, and approachable, not overwhelming. Remember, you don't have to give up color to feel confident. You just need the right color, the one that supports you, lifts you, and feels like it belongs to the woman you are now. And one more thing, it's okay if this all feels like a lot to process. Maybe you've been coloring your hair the same way for years. Maybe change feels uncomfortable, but the most powerful transformations often come from the smallest shifts. Sometimes it's just one tone warmer, one shade softer, one moment of choosing yourself. Because at this stage in life, your hair shouldn't be a battle. It should be a blessing, a reflection of the beauty, wisdom, and radiance that you carry inside and out. 3. Hair color is identity more than just shade. Let's pause for a moment, not to talk about trends or formulas or salon visits, but to talk about something deeper, something we don't always say out loud, but many of us feel. Hair color is emotional. It's not just about how others see us, it's about how we see ourselves. For many women, especially after 60, hair color carries a history. Maybe it's the shade you wore when you first became a mother. Maybe it's the tone you chose during a big life transition, a divorce, a move, the start of a new chapter. And maybe, just maybe, it's something you've held on to for years because it felt safe, familiar, or even powerful. But as we grow, our reflection changes. And sometimes the color we once felt beautiful in no longer feels like a fit. Not because we've lost something, but because we've gained something: clarity, confidence, and the freedom to choose again. That's the thing about identity. It's not fixed. It's fluid. And your hair color can be a beautiful way to express who you are now, not just who you've been. I've spoken with so many women, mothers, grandmothers, caregivers, artists, entrepreneurs, and do you know what they all had in common? They weren't trying to look 30 again. They weren't chasing youth. They just wanted to feel aligned, whole, visible. And the right color can do that. It sounds simple, but it's powerful. Because when your outer appearance reflects your inner self, something clicks. You feel seen, you feel true to yourself, and that changes how you show up in the world. One woman I remember, her name was Ellen, told me something that stayed with me. She said, "I'm not trying to turn back time. I just want to recognize the woman in the mirror again." And after she switched to a softer, warmer tone that complemented her skin and her spirit, she said it was the first time in years she felt like smiling at her reflection. That's the kind of shift we're talking about here. Hair color isn't about covering anything up. It's about lifting something forward. Your essence, your beauty, your story. And when you stop choosing color out of habit or fear and start choosing it with intention, it becomes a kind of self-care. Not the rushed, pressured kind, the meaningful kind. The kind that says, "I'm still here, I still matter, I still deserve to feel beautiful. Your color doesn't need to be trendy. It doesn't need to be bold. It just needs to feel like you. Because real beauty after 60 isn't about perfection. It's about presence. It's the quiet confidence in your eyes, the softness in your smile, the strength in your voice when you say, "This is who I am, and I love where I am in life." So whatever shade you choose, whether it's rich brown, radiant silver, or a soft ash blend, choose it not to hide, but to shine. Choose it not to chase youth, but to reflect the wisdom and joy you've earned. You're not fading. You are unfolding. And your hair color? That's just one more way to celebrate that. Bonus 7. Essential hair color tips for women over 60. Who want to shine, not struggle. So far, we've talked about colors that age you and colors that uplift you. But let's go a little deeper and get really practical. Because knowing what not to do is only part of the journey. What really matters is knowing what to do instead. After 60, your hair isn't just something to manage, it's a way to feel aligned, expressive, and beautiful in your own skin. But that only happens when your color works with you, not against you. Here are 7 useful, real-life hair color tips that will help you make confident, flattering choices so you can feel refreshed, never overwhelmed. Tip 1. Rethink your skin tone, because yes, it changes. The skin you had at 30 isn't the skin you have now, and that's completely normal. Hormonal changes, sun exposure, and natural aging can shift your undertone over time. If you're still using the same color you wore 20 years ago, it might be clashing with your complexion without you even realizing it. To find your current undertone, look at the veins on your wrist under natural light. If they appear blue or purple, you likely have a cool undertone. If they lean greenish, you're warm. If it's hard to tell, you're probably neutral. Once you know your undertone, you can choose a hair color that flatters it rather than fights it. Warm undertones do beautifully with honey, golden brown, or copper highlights. Cool undertones shine with ash brown, silvery gray, and beige blondes. Neutral tones are lucky. You can wear a little bit of everything. Tip 2. Lighter is often kinder than darker. Many women instinctively go darker to cover gray, but deep shades can actually harden your features. They emphasize lines and shadows, especially around the eyes and mouth. Instead, consider going a shade or two lighter than your natural color. Soft chocolate brown, medium golden tones, or even beige blondes can create a lifted, brighter look that flatters your face. And if you still love richness, try low lights for dimension rather than an all-over deep tone. Tip 3. Embrace blending over covering. Covering every gray hair might have worked in your 40s, but now it can feel like a never-ending cycle. Constant root touch-ups, harsh lines, and fading color can be exhausting. A better option? Blend your gray instead of fighting it. That means adding highlights, lowlights, or toners that complement your natural silver. The result? Softer transitions, more depth, and a look that feels effortless rather than high maintenance. One beautiful way to do this is with salt and pepper toning, where your stylist uses subtle gray-compatible shades like smoky brown or taupe to blend your natural growth seamlessly. Tip 4. Healthy hair reflects color better, so focus on condition, not just shade. Color can't shine on dry, brittle strands. As hair ages, it becomes more porous and prone to dullness. So no matter what shade you choose, keeping your hair hydrated, nourished, and strong is key. Use color-safe shampoos and conditioners that are sulfate-free. Incorporate a weekly hair mask. And consider a professional gloss treatment every few months. It seals the cuticle, enhances shine, and revives faded color without adding damage. Also, be gentle with heat tools. Mature hair doesn't bounce back the way it used to. Always use a heat protectant spray and avoid daily blow drying or flat ironing if you can. Tip 5. Go for dimensional color, not flat tone. Solid, single-process color can look harsh and unnatural, especially if you're trying to cover gray completely. Instead, opt for dimension. This could be in the form of balayage, baby lights, or soft face-framing highlights. Dimensional color mimics how natural hair reflects light, and it creates the illusion of thickness, something many women over 60 appreciate as their hair becomes finer. Plus, multi-tonal shades grow out more gracefully. You won't see harsh root lines or abrupt fading. Tip 6. Protect your hair from sun and shampoo. You've probably heard of sun damage for your skin, but your hair is just as vulnerable. UV rays can fade color, dry out strands, and make your hair look older and more brittle than it really is. If you spend time outside, wear a wide-brimmed hat, or use a leave-in conditioner with UV filters. And don't overwash. 2 to 3 times a week is plenty for most mature hair types. Use cooler water when rinsing. Hot water strips natural oils and accelerates fading. And remember, fresh color doesn't last without protection. The more gently you treat your hair, the longer your shade will stay vibrant. Tip 7. Don't be afraid to reinvent. It's not too late. Maybe you've worn the same shade for 20 years, or maybe you've avoided color because you thought it wasn't worth the trouble anymore. But now is the perfect time to try something new. It doesn't have to be dramatic. Even small changes, a warmer tone, a subtle highlight, or simply blending your gray, can make a big difference in how you feel when you see yourself. Let this season of life be one where you feel free to express who you are now. You've evolved. Your color can too. These tips are meant to support you, not overwhelm you. Take what speaks to you. Leave what doesn't. The goal isn't perfection. It's authenticity. It's feeling good in your skin and loving the reflection that looks back at you each morning. Because at the end of the day, hair color isn't about erasing your age. It's about celebrating the life, experience, and beauty that only comes with time. So give yourself permission to soften, to shine, to glow. Not for anyone else, but for you. Final thoughts. You are more than a shade. As we come to the end of this conversation, I want you to take a deep breath and know that you've just done something powerful. You've taken time to reflect, to learn, and to reconnect with a part of yourself that's often overlooked. Your right to feel beautiful on your own terms. This video wasn't really about hair dye. It wasn't just about warm tones, cool undertones, or gray blending. It was about you, about where you are in life, and the woman you continue to become. You see, hair color is just one of the many ways we express who we are. And after 60, it becomes more than a beauty choice. It becomes a reflection of how you feel inside. Whether you choose soft chocolate brown, shimmering silver, or something bold and new, the only thing that matters is that it feels right for you. Because you've earned the freedom to choose differently. You've earned every laugh line, every silver strand, and every new chapter. You're not stuck in the past. You're still evolving, still shining, still writing your story. And in that story, there's no expiration date on beauty. There's no limit to how vibrant, confident, or radiant you can feel. In fact, this chapter might be the most exciting one yet, because now you get to define it fully, freely, and without apology. So here's my gentle encouragement. If you've been thinking of trying something new, even a small change, do it for you, not to please anyone else, not to fit into some outdated mold, but because you deserve to see yourself and smile. And if this message spoke to you, if you felt seen, encouraged, or simply understood, please give this video a like. Subscribe if you haven't already. Our community is full of women who are embracing aging boldly, beautifully, and on their own terms. And leave a comment below. Share your story. Tell me the color that made you feel most like yourself. I read every message, and your words might be exactly what another woman needs to hear today. Until next time, remember this: you are radiant, you are worthy, and you are exactly where you're meant to be.